Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q2 FY22 results conference call of Make Money Organics, hosted by Emkay Global Financial Services. Before we get started, I would like to remind you that the remarks today might include forward-looking statements and actual results may differ materially from those contemplated by forward-looking statements. Any statement made on this call today are based on assumptions as on date, and we have no obligations to update the statements as a result of new information or future events. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference has been recorded. I now hand over the conference over to Mr. Rohit Nagraj from Emkay Global Financial Services. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thanks, Jacob. Good evening, everyone, and I hope everyone is in good health. I would like to welcome the management of Make Money Organics and thank them for giving us this opportunity to host the con call. We have with us today the senior management team of Make Money Organics, represented by Mr. Ankit Patel, Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Gurjan Singh Chahal, Chief Financial Officer, and Mr. Bharat Modi, Investor Relations Advisor. I shall now hand over the call to the management for their opening remarks. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. Good afternoon, everyone, and sorry to keep you waited. There was some technical glitch. So thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone, and a very warm welcome to Make Money Organics Q2 and H1 FY22 earnings call. First, let me give you a quick overview of our Q2 results. Despite the challenging business environment, Make Money Organics top line surged by nearly 28% to 545 crore, and this was due to strong performance in both the division. Our export sale grew by nearly 43% YOY, whereas the domestic sale declined by nearly 8%. Export contributed to by 80% of our revenue, and the balance 20% is contributed by the domestic sales. Our EBITDA for the quarter stood at 77 crore, and the EBITDA margin is 14.2% for this quarter. Profit after tax for this quarter stood at nearly 65 crore. Highlight for this H1 FY22 performance, our revenue registered a robust growth of nearly 45% to 1,041 crore, which was aided by both in pigment division as well as the agro division. Our export sales grew by nearly 60% year on year. The export and domestic sales mix stood at 80% by 20% for the H1 FY22. EBITDA during this quarter, during the first half, grew by 5.8% to 165 crore, and EBITDA margin is nearly 16%. Our profit after tax registered the strong growth of 41%, and it is 133 crore. On the balance sheet front, cash and cash equivalents stood at 212 crore as on 30th September 2021. The company continues to maintain the low debt status with a comfortable debt to equity ratio of 0.33. Make Money Organics return ratios for like ROC and ROE remain healthy at 17.4 and 21.9% respectively. Looking at our segment performance, our pigment business delivered a revenue growth of 16.7%, and it reached at 171 crore. Due to better realization in the Q2 FY22. Our sales volume for the quarter grew at 2.7% to 3,700 metric ton, while the EBITDA stood at 15.8 crore with a margin of nearly 9%. Export contributed 83% in the top line. Our utilization for the plant remained nearly 90% in the Q2 against 75% in the previous year. Agrochemical business delivered the revenue growth of 34%, and it reached at 375 crore. I am happy to share with you that the Make Money Organics achieved the ever highest export sales in the quarter by clocking 53% increase year-on-year and reached at 305 crore. The export sale contributed 83% in this quarter. EBITDA for the quarter stood at 72 crore, while the EBITDA margin stood at 19.3%. Agrochemical division capacity utilization stood at 80% in the quarter 2. And I am delighted to share with you that our recently enhanced 2,4-D plant capacity are currently functioning at above 75%. On capex front, the agrochemical ongoing capex of 310 crore is progressing as per the plan, and the commencement of the commercial production is expected to begin in the Q2 of next financial year. It will additionally contribute about 600 crore revenue in the top line. Additionally, we are exploring the multiple opportunity to enter into new pigment colors. A concrete development towards the same would be shared with you in an appropriate time. As we all know that India's chemical industry is at an inflation point, as the multinational companies opting for China Plus One strategy. Make Money Organics is well placed to tap this growth opportunities by being committed to maximize its return on investment and create value for our esteemed stakeholders. With this, we would be happy to take any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on your touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Rahul Veera from Abacus Private Limited. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes, Rahul bhai.
Hi, Ankit bhai. How are you?
Good.
Ankit, so just a quick question. In terms of these raw material pressure, are we seeing this in Q3, Q4 as well, or in terms of pricing, passing on the price to the end customer, you see that thing happening over the next couple of quarters?
Rahul bhai, let me explain you. For both the divisions, agro and pigment, we have a sizable export business.
Right.
In the export business, normally we have pending orders for nearly 2 months on an average, and we don't go back on our contracts and on our commitments. At the same time, the raw material supply, sudden increase in the raw material pricing, majority of the raw material pricing, that has been a challenging time for the industry as a whole, and we are very hopeful, and now everyone in the world understands that this is the global situation. Nobody is spared from this situation, and the prices have started increasing, which is a positive sign, and we hope that in the coming quarters our margin should improve.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, this is helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Raghav from Deloitte. Please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Rahul bhai.
Sir, can you give some guidance on the margin for H2? Although you have just answered that it will improve. Just more sort of guidance, exactly what is the expansion that you are witnessing. So this is my first question, sir.
Raghav, if we see the margin point of view, this year between two divisions, agro division is still in the range of nearly 20% EBITDA margin. If you look at the industry as an average for the agrochemical, it varies between 16 to 18%. So we are above the industry average even in this quarter, and we'll try to maintain it. For the pigment division, yes, we are down in terms of the EBITDA margin, which is below 10%. On an average, as an industry, pigment industry generates 13 to 15% EBITDA margin, and it has been very challenging for the pigment division in this quarter, but we are very hopeful that in the second quarter we should be able to improve to make it in double digit.
Thank you, Ankit sir. So the second question is on the capex front. You have guided like in pigments, company would target a revenue of 1,000 crore by FY24, and similarly in agrochem, 2,000 crore revenue by FY24. So can you just guide exactly what type of products or what type of services that you are planning to deliver?
Sure. So, Raghav, for the agrochemical division first, as we have mentioned that we are doing the capex of nearly 310 crore, which will generate revenue more than 600 crore. So, with this kind of the revenue and the current capacity what we have, we will be crossing 2,000 crore top line in the agrochemical division. The kind of the project which we are doing, kind of the product we are bringing in the new project of 310 crore, I'm sorry I'm not able to disclose at this point. We'll be disclosing the details about this new products while we will be commercially, we'll start the commercial production in the Q2 of next financial year. The reason of not disclosing the products and the intermediate name, we would like to keep it low profile because these are relatively new products and not being manufactured by many companies in India. So secrecy point of view, we are keeping it a little low profile. But these are the new products in the Make Money's basket, and it is going to be a very good situation in the coming days time for the agrochemical division. Now coming to the pigment division, we have already mentioned that we'll be crossing the 1,000 crore top line by FY24. With the current plant capacity in the phthalocine and pigment green and pigment blue, we are reaching at about 700-750 crore. We are working on a new kind of pigment which will help to change the complete situation of the pigment division. We are working on some big project, and it is being we are not able to announce at this juncture, but we are very hopeful that in the next con call of next quarter, we should be able to make a proper announcement for the pigment division as well, which will give the growth plan to achieve more than 1,000 crore top line for the pigment division as well.
Thanks, Ankit sir. Thanks for the guidance. And congratulations once again for delivering good results in such a tough quarter, Ankit.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Deepesh Sancheti from Manya Finance. Please go ahead. And a reminder to all the participants, you may enter *1 to ask a question.
Yeah, hi Ankit. Just a couple of questions. One, what is the gross debt of the company?
Gross debt of the company. Okay, we have long-term debt of 300 crore and our working capital remains in the range of 125 to 150 crore. And as on 30th September, as just pointed out, we have 213 crore of liquid investments in hand.
Okay.
So we are very much comfortable as far as debt is concerned. So our debt equity is less than 0.3. It is 0.3 as of now.
And what has been the investment done so far in the new project for agrochemicals?
Around 85 crore of capex has been spent in the new project.
This is so the debt or whatever it has been taken has been already been included in the figures which you told me, right?
Yeah, debt is inclusive of all, and we have spent money out of that. So it is the MOL5 is the new project we are talking about. So 85 crore of cash flow has been done so far on this project.
We'll be very watchful also that we keep our debt equity, less than 0.05. So this is where we would be working very hard on this. 0.5, I'm sorry. And this is where we have been working very hard. So we will be able to generate enough free cash flows as well in the time to come as the capex will be implemented and start generating revenue.
Okay. And as you mentioned that new products you cannot disclose, but what will be the margins for the new products? Similar to the 20 to 25% range, or you are expecting better margins?
Agrochemical on an average, as I mentioned, generates about 16 to 18% EBITDA margin. Definitely it will be little better than that. As I mentioned that we always would keep our EBITDA margin above the industry average. The new products, yes, relatively new, has got a better EBITDA margin. It will help in the coming years' time.
You see, the process of identification of a new product we always really do a lot of studies about it. We study the market potential first, vis-a-vis we match our capabilities and the capacities as well. At the same time, we always work on a sustainability of the margin that we are trying to estimate about it. Generally, what would happen that, we have a plant which is already in operations, and therefore, we'll be able to take a lot of advantage in terms of improvising our margins when we really identify a new product.
Okay. And for these new products, the backward integration will also be taken care of, as will we be still dependent on the raw materials from China?
Even today, Dipesh bhai, our dependence on China is not that much. And definitely as a Make Money, our capability is always to be the backward integrator. And in the new project also, the product which we are bringing are having the backward integration.
Okay. And just last question, will we be having a separate con call for Make Money FineChem, or in this con call only we can ask the questions for Make Money FineChem?
Make Money FineChem is a separate listed company now, so it has got a separate con call, and it was held yesterday.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Abhay from Sanmati Consultant. Please go ahead.
Hello, Mr. Ankit Patel. This is Loda here. I am Loda here.
Yes, Loda sir.
Sir, I have seen your results. I have 2 or 3 queries regarding to accounts. I think Mr. Chal will be able to give the reply of all my queries.
Yes, sir.
Anji. On other expenses, on year it was 82 crore, on quarter it is 101 crore, and now in this quarter it is 127 crore. What is the reason of this steep increase in other expenses?
Okay, sir, other expenses, if you see, so there are 3 main components which come in this. One is the logistic cost. So due to this global supply chain disruption, so this is significantly increased. Second is power and fuel, which we use. So now with the increasing coal price and all that, so our steam price and power prices have also gone up. And apart from that, now we have capitalized our 240 plant. So this is a new capacity which has come in. So that is the additional production. If you see, that is also up by 40% in case of agro division. So that is in line with the increase in production. So these are the 2 main reasons for increase in other expenses.
Why your inventories have gone up from 373 crore to 527 crore in the 6 month ending September? Inventories from 373 crore in the March. Now it is 527 crore.
In case of inventory, the major reason is, as we just mentioned, one is Q2 has been always a season for us for agro division, number 1. Number 2, due to supply chain disruption, all the sales which are on CIF basis, so their time is a little bit increased. So that's why stock in transit is higher by 100 crore this quarter as compared to March. So which is a spillover from this quarter to next quarter.
Okay. My last question is to Ankit Patel. Ankit bhai, we have listened the con call of Make Money Fine Chemicals yesterday.
Yes, sir.
We have listened the con call of Make Money Fine Chemicals yesterday, and according to them, their project is 70% complete since caustic soda price, chloromethane price, and hydrogen peroxide, and as well as caustic potash, all are at their peak of the lifetime peak. They are running at their lifetime peak. So they must be having the good cash accrual. So why don't we ask Make Money Fine Chemical to refund 222 something odd crore, which park in the CCP optionally convertible debenture. We should bring back the money to the company. We should ask them to refund the 225 crore to the Make Money Organics.
Thank you, Loda sir, for your suggestion. We'll discuss internally about this, and we'll do whatever best we can do. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rohit from MK. Please go ahead.
Thanks, and good afternoon, sir. So the first question is on the agrochemicals front. So we have seen that from China, the availability as well as prices have gone up significantly, probably partially reflected in our numbers as well. How do you foresee the situation in the next couple of quarters on the availability front as well as on the pricing front? Whether the existing high price environment will remain for the time being and then it will start correcting? And have we faced any challenges in terms of getting any material from the imported route? Thank you.
Sure. So Rohit bhai, as far as the raw material dependency on China is concerned, we are not very much dependent on China as far as the raw materials are concerned. Because about 65% of our revenue is not dependent on China as far as the raw material is concerned. Yes, certain raw material we are dependent on China, and we were well aware of the situation which was going to arise, and we made plan in such a way that we don't face any issue as far as our production is concerned. So far there is not any issue from the supply from China point of view. Yes, the lead time has increased and you need to maintain little high inventory. Second thing, yes, the China disruption has increased the price of the various chemicals directly or indirectly, and it is giving a tough time to everyone in the industry to analyze it. But if you tell me the kind of the information what we are getting from China and from various other sources, we feel that the situation will not going to improve until March 22. So for the next 5 to 6 months, the situation is going to be little tight because China is going to have the winter. In the coming days time, they are going to have the Winter Olympic and followed by the New Year in China. And we have seen in this particular time, there is always a pressure on the industry. So this is one thing. Yes, after that there will be some reduction and the supply will also improve as well as the prices will come down. But it is not going to come down very soon. It is, in a way, it is helping the agro division from the top line point of view. So not just our company, but every other company's top line is going up. But because of the drastically raw material price increase, the margins are under pressure a little bit. So far, we have been able to maintain the margin to the reasonable level.
Right. Thanks. So the second question is on the pigments business. So if you look at the Q2 numbers, actually the utilization level or production level has increased as well as the revenues have increased. However, the margins have compressed. So if you could just give us a color on which and all are the user segments where we have seen contraction in terms of demand and where the demand is now probably back to pre-COVID levels, and how is it shaping up for the foreseeable future given the orders that we are currently having in hand? Thank you.
Yes. So as far as the pigment division is concerned, the demand has improved, and we see that the COVID effect has gone back to the normal, and people are asking for the material globally in the different market. As far as the margins are concerned, there is a pressure because the key raw material for the pigment division is phthalic anhydride, urea, cuprous chloride, aluminum chloride. Now, two of the raw material is a copper and aluminum base, which is we know that metals are very high and which has increased the input cost. At the same time, the industrial grade urea, which used to be in the range of about 20 to 25 rupees, today it has crossed 60 rupees. So, which is a significant increase in the cost. Phthalic anhydride, I'm sure you must be aware, the prices have gone up. And as I mentioned in the call, that we normally have a 2 to 3 months order on hand and we don't go back on our contracts. But now in this quarter, we are able to pass on the price increase to our customer, and in the coming days time, I think our margins will improve in the pigment divisions as well.
Thanks for the answers. If I have any questions, I'll come back in the queue. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to all participants, you may enter star 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Abhay Lodha from Sanmati Consultant. Please go ahead.
Mr. Chal.
Yes, Lodha sir.
One follow-up question, sir. This finance cost in this quarter has been shown as a credit in bracket. In interest income has been shown instead of interest payment.
Lodha ji, as you know, in our case, we have more than 80% exports, and due to depreciation in the currency, so that is the benefit which we get. So in this, there is a MTM gain. That's why in our foreign currency borrowing, so there is a gain. It has come in the quarter, it has come as a credit.
Okay. Then this is how much is the foreign currency loan in the books as on date?
Our entire long term and short term is 100% in foreign currency borrowing.
Okay.
We have a very standard forex management policy, so as a natural hedge also, so we take in foreign currency.
Okay. What is the cost to the company, this foreign currency loan which you have taken against the natural hedge of the exports?
Yeah, so this is a natural hedge, so we have receivables also, and this is the payable on the loan side. And we have a very, borrowing cost is between 2 to 2.5%.
Okay, thanks a lot. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Praveen Sharma, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, Praveen bhai.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Sir, as far as on the pigment side, I just wanted to know, there is a drastic fall in the margin, and you said that you have contracts in hand for 2 months and we can't go back to customers. I was just wondering, what is our, philosophy as far as raw material hedging and procurement is concerned? When we have 2 months order, don't we book raw material simultaneously so that, such type of a situation doesn't come?
Yes, we do book the raw material in advance, but some of our suppliers have gone back on the contract. Okay. But as a policy, as a company policy, we try to don't go back on our contract. Sometimes we discuss if there is a exorbitant increase in the situation or there is some supply related disruption. But this time as a management we took a call that we don't want to go back on our contract, and because we knew that in the coming days time our customers will support us, and now they have started supporting us. They have understood the situation because it's a long term win-win situation on both the parts, so we need to understand from both the sides.
Okay, sir. And second question is, sir, we intend to go to 1,000 crore, which is like, addition of around 300 crore from 700 crore, which we can do from current, gross block. I was just wondering, sir, at least in the agrochemical side, we have done some investment and it's on the pipeline and it will kick in. But on pigment side, we are still in a very, very nebulous stage. I, as an investor, you definitely would have an, future outlook, but I could not understand how, we don't, do we have environmental clearance for this particular new kind of pigment which we are planning? Because the current pigment I understand is 13 to 15% margin, which is hardly anything. I think we wanted to diversify. This is what I could get from the last con call, a new set of pigments. So, when can we see something concrete coming out on it? And will it not be too late as far as, because earlier, if I remember, in old days, we used to talk of 2,000 crore, 2002 from each of the 3 business lines, agro, fine chem and pigment. Now we have scaled down to, I think, 1,000 crore for pigment. So,
Praveen bhai, in the past, let me correct you in between. It used to be 1,000 crore each, and that we, I think, in the agro and caustic chlorine division, we have already surpassed that. In the pigment division, it is little bit delayed, but at the same time, we have already made the growth plan for the agro division. Caustic chlorine is already a separate division now. In the pigment division, we stick to the 1,000 crore, and we have an action plan for that, and it won't be delayed any further. I'm sorry, I won't be able to disclose much on the new project or the new pigment at this juncture, but yes, every step is being taken at the management to achieve the top line and improvement in the bottom line for the pigment division.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Deepesh Sancheti from Manya Finance. Please go ahead.
Yeah, just one question. How much sales or purchase do we do from Make Money Fine Chem?
Make Money Fine Chem mainly supplies us caustic and chlorine because Make Money Organics is a next door campus. So from the EHS, environment and safety point of view, caustic and chlorine comes by pipeline. So that is the major consumption. And in terms of the value, even I need to check.
Even if it's approximate.
Roughly 8 crore per month.
I think in the current, about 5 to 7 crore per month.
Okay, not very significant. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of H.S. Dodi, individual investor. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Dodi, sir.
Sir, I have a question on the promoter holding. Now, if you see the NSE website, this quarter also, there have been market purchases done by the designated persons, which include Mr. Chair also, and recently 50,000 shares purchased by Mr. Popat Megbai. So my question is, sir, the promoter group basically does it to indicate that they have confidence in the business, or there is some serious thought of increasing the promoter holding, because in Make Money you have 70 plus, sir. Whereas here, because after the IFC exit and all, you have remained in the 50s only. So is there any serious thought of increasing, because promoters are same, so thought on increasing the promoter holding in Make Money Organics, sir?
Dodi sir, thank you for your question. So on an individual basis, yes, we have a very good confidence as a management on Make Money Organics Limited. We are very much committed, and we feel that our companies are very much undervalued. So every individual from the promoter, whenever they on their own, they keep on purchasing, and in the coming days time also they will keep on adding, they will keep on purchasing. So that will continue, because we find our company very much undervalued, looking at the growth plan what we have, and looking at the industry what other companies P multiple is.
Okay, right, sir. Thanks for the answer. Now my second question is, sir, this has been asked to you, but a lot of people, is regarding the pigment. Now if you go to the YouTube, you find they are discussing the kind of pigment also, titanium, and the company also, it can be all guess and all. But my thing is, what is you last time you said 2 months you will declare it definitely. So why is this delay? And what is the secrecy involved in disclosing the pigment? If you could elaborate on this, sir.
Dodi sir, it's difficult to. I'm sorry that last time also we mentioned that in 2 months' time we'll be announcing some project for the pigment division, because we are on the verge of working on one project, and technical clearance is pending. Once everything is done, we'll be making the announcement. So due to some technicality and the technology tie-up point of view, the things are pending. once everything is done, we would like to make a concrete announcement. We don't want to make the announcement just for the sake of announcing the project. Whenever we make some announcement, we are very much committed to it. So we want to have that kind of surety at the management level, and we are very sure about the project, and in coming days time, definitely we'll make a strong announcement for the growth of pigment division.
Okay, right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star 1 to ask a question. The next question is from the line of Rohit Nagraj from Emkay Global. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the follow-up. So the question is on agrochemicals. So you said that Q2 FY23 will have the capacity commissioned. So in terms of the potential revenues of 600 crores, FY24 is the first year when we'll have the entire 600 crores, or it will take maybe 2.5 years time to reach the peak potential?
Rohit bhai, thank you for your question. Rohit bhai, as you know, agrochemical is a regulated business. So it is not just the manufacturing and selling of the product. At the same time, we need to do the registration of this various product into different markets. So the good thing about the registration is we started parallelly doing the registration of all the products which we are going to manufacture. So in the first year, it won't be possible to utilize the plant at the full capacity, which is FY23. In the FY24, reasonably, we feel that we should be able to utilize the plant to the tune of about 65 to 70%. And later on, it will increase further. And if the market condition improves and the regulatory support comes, then definitely, yes, utilization will be better.
Right. Again, the same question on the pigments front, that we will be announcing the new project sometimes during the current quarter, and then we have kept a target of 1,000 crores for FY24. So how confident are we that we'll be able to put up the steel on the ground, start the project, probably smoothen the operations, and then get additional revenues of maybe 200 to 300 crores? Will that not be slightly aggressive in terms of guidance for FY24? Thank you.
In fact, for the pigment division, it's not aggressive. Reasons are, pigment is not a regulated business. Second thing, the product which we are looking at it's going to be the import substitute. There is already a huge market in India. And third thing is, we have got all of the technical clearance. The only thing is we are working on the technological related matter. So the things will be much faster, even in the case of pigment division. So we are very confident for the pigment division numbers as well.
Right. And one last question on our EHS side. So how are we currently spaced on the environmental safety aspect? And given that there has been a significant uproar from the global companies in terms of compliances, what are the steps that we are taking over the next foreseeable future so that we'll be able to take on the more opportunities from the China Plus One and particularly from the exports market? Thank you.
Sure. So EHS is the topmost priority at the Meghmani and at the management level. We have been giving it the most priority and upgrading our site continuously. And for the understanding of the investors, because they are not able to visit in this COVID time, we have made the corporate film where they can understand and see the sites, what we have, the kind of the infrastructure, what we have. That is what our vision is. And as far as the upgrading the standard for at the EHS level, you might be knowing the responsible care is one of the very high level certification for the EHS. And at the Meghmani agrochemical division, we have started working on it. We are hopeful that, we, with the kind of the improvement and kind of the work we are doing, we are targeting the responsible care certificate in next 1.5 years time. So that is a very prestigious certificate, and that gives the confidence to the global customers that the company has got the responsible care certificate. So we are working on it.
Right. And one last question. So we have aggressive plans for both our divisions in terms of revenue growth. How are we placed in terms of our business development team, and whether we'll have to further invest into it, which will probably take the cost higher in the next couple of years, or we are sufficiently, currently having people to take care of the incremental business? Thank you.
So yes, the business development team is a very important area for the growth of the business, and so far we have a good young people team, and as and when it's required, we keep on adding the members in the team. But the kind of the growth what we are estimating for the next 2 to 3 years time, we have a sufficient team members.
All right. Thank you so much, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. As there are no further questions from the participants, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
So I thank you all for taking your valuable time and joining us on this con call. The company is on the strong growth trajectory coupled with the healthy balance sheet position. Make Money Organics is confident to create a sustainable value for all the stakeholders. Please reach out to Dickenson World or us directly should you have any further queries. Thank you very much.
Thank you. On behalf of Emkay Global Financial Services, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may disconnect your lines.